Hello, my name is Greg Pound. I'm running for sheriff here in Pinellas County, and I'm putting this documentary together so the people in Pinellas County can see who I am and understand I'm just like you. You could say I'm not, as they say on the sheriff's department, he's one of us. They separate, they make a distinction between the people and themselves. And so I just want you to know that I'm one of the people of Pinellas County, that I'm asking for you to elect and to be your sheriff, to protect you and represent you. And so I'm going to give you just some information. I want you to know who I am, understand. I want you to just get a picture of who I am through this documentary. And I'm going to put it up on my YouTube account, Greg Pound for Sheriff 2012. I want you to understand that this whole thing started with a situation where my daughter was accidentally bit by a dog. I wasn't home, my other 3 children wasn't home, my wife was there, my mother, and my sister came down from Michigan. But there was an accident, which is the #1 accident among children, is basically dog bites. That's the major problem. So what happens is, either way, in the process of dog bite, my wife calls 911, the sheriff department sends out two protection child investigators, Megan Gallagher, Erica Parker. Erica Parker's husband's a deputy on the sheriff's department. That's Erica Parker, and Megan Gallagher. Sometimes if I get my names confused, I might have to go back and go over them again, just because I've got so much in my head. But Megan Gallagher, you can Google the names of these people and just look at their history. I mean, everything that I'm saying has been documented. So I don't want you to think this guy's just a loose cannon shooting things out. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But this is documented facts that I'm speaking. Megan Gallagher, she filed 96 false reports, pled guilty to those, and we were one of those reports in Pinellas County. Destroying families because they get federal grant money. The money they generate by taking care of children is a full-time job, round the clock. I mean, it opens up the nest egg for all kinds of agencies in this county in order to go ahead and to get children into what they call service, into the court system, into the funding coming in the sheriff's department. And they've got 77 child protection investigators at that time going out, driving around, just trying to find children that they could pull into the system. And for general information, 74% of them are African American children that they have caught into the system. And so in the process of now, me and my wife trying to get our children back out of DCF and dealing with the corruption and working with the sheriff, I'm on the Juvenile Justice Board for Pinellas County, Pinellas and Pasco County, for this circuit, the 6th Circuit, DJJ for Pinellas County. And I sit on that board with the chief family judge and Bob Dillinger and Sheriff Coates and county commissioners are there, different ones over the past few years. They've come and gone to different, we've had different chief judges in there in the family court. But what I would like to do is just try to help my audience to understand that the job of the sheriff in this county, we elect them. As you study history and you go back and you see when towns were smaller, and as things began to happen, families got together and said, we need to elect somebody to represent us and to keep law and order in our community. And so what they've done is they went together as a community and they elected a sheriff. And a sheriff, his job was, while everyone was out working and maintaining their everyday lives, that the sheriff's job was to protect their property, protect their rights. And that's the one thing, the most important thing that we need to understand, that the sheriff in this county takes an oath to do one thing, and that's to protect and defend your constitutional rights. And so in the process of getting involved in this county, sheriff's department, the child protection investigation department, and the things that they're doing to us as a community and our family, I find that we have people that have no care for us as a people or as a community. One thing they care about is the money. For instance, Sheriff Coates says he retired back in 1999. Now, I brought this up at the last election, been documenting this stuff, bringing it to the forefront so the people can see the corruption that's going on. He never retired. He's got over $500,000 plus his $170,000 a year, all expenses paid. He gets the red carpet everywhere he goes, and they're just. It's like we've got over 9,000 state employees in the state of Florida, double dipping to the sums of millions of dollars in this state. Just taxpayers are just paying for it, and so where I'm at to this day, up to 2011, is that I've been on the one end trying to get justice out of our judicial system and then out of our sheriff's department. And I haven't been able to do it. I haven't been able to pay for it. I haven't been able to, I cannot compete with the federal grant money that's coming in that they're getting by stealing people's children, especially my own children. And so as a father in Pinellas County, and our children being taken from us, our rights terminated, and illegally. All this has been done illegally. We don't smoke, we don't drink, we don't do drugs. We have, they have nothing on us to come in and just come right out and steal our children. Now, as I explained some of the characters of the people that they hire for these jobs, I'll go ahead, I'm going to try to put together a whole documentary of what's going on in this county. And so if you watch this on YouTube, there's going to be more coming. I'll bring the documentation in, and I'll go ahead and present it to you so you can go ahead and see what we have going on in the county. And it's just so sad that the people we've elected into office are not representing us, and they're not defending our rights. I've given false reports to Sheriff Coates, his chief deputy, Grittori, and these guys don't even care. I've been invited to Bill Young's Republican Party. As I was there, I was drug out, beat up by Sheriff Coates and the guys the gangsters he had there. These aren't law enforcement people. These are basically, well, in the old term they used to use was dumbbells, but that usually was used for police officers. Our county sheriffs were supposed to represent. They were elected into office, appointed there to defend the rights of the people. And like in Chicago in those days, they used to have, the courts would have the dumbbells, which would be the police officers go out and do their deeds. And so what happens is that it's hard to think that the deputies, all the people that are out on the field, the deputies, these men and these women are representing the sheriff. Now when we have the sheriff from the county who knows the massive corruption that's going on in the system and does nothing about it, we have rampant sexual things going on in your sheriff's department, other deputies messing around with other deputies' wives, like John Picamanis was having sex with Erica Parker. Erica Parker, now listen, she worked with Megan Gallagher. They were the two that came to our house. And John Picamanis was over the child protection investigation team for the sheriff's department. The 77 officers that go out, child protection investigators that go out and try to snatch up children. And her husband, Erica Parker's husband's a deputy in the sheriff's department. Now when you have things like this that are going on and they're caught at Sam's Club on Park Boulevard in Belcher in the daytime by the video camera on the building, having sex in the front seat of in the car that you're paying for with your taxes, we have a major problem. And they still retire with full benefits. Erica Parker, we understand she's still on the sheriff's department. And this is the kind of corruption and time bomb that we have, that when our sheriff, for some reason, when Sheriff Coates does not clean up this kind of stuff that's going on in the sheriff's department, then we have a major problem. And so the list of poor leadership is evident. The documentation that I'll bring is testimonies from other deputies who have lost their job for speaking out on Sheriff Coates, and they're just making everyone in law enforcement. It just doesn't look good. to the community. And what happens if law enforcement, the sheriff's department, does not have the backing of the community, who they're representing, who they're working for, if we can't trust them, if now the officers are out generating revenue, they're forced by their job to do things that are illegal in order to get people incarcerated, to get them into the court system. And what you see, it all begins in the destruction of our families. The most strongest thing that we have in our country and as a people is our families. And as our families are being destroyed through the system, our young people, the Juvenile Justice Board, once you see what they're doing to our young people, 93.3% of our young people, once they get on probation, they can't get off it. It's like a dog on a chain. They're violated. Most of the people entering the case plans with DCF, Department of Children and Family, who the sheriff is over in this county. The sheriff in this county is over Department of Children and Family. And when they can't get out of a case plan, they've done everything that they can do. And they still cannot get out of that case plan. And once you see the money that it's generating, the whole system now is corrupt and it's based upon money. It's not based on defending people's rights. It's not based on looking out for the best interests of our country and our community. But they're breaking the backs, they're breaking the people through this corruption. And so that's why I'm asking you to look seriously at the documentation that I'm producing. And I'll do my best to go ahead and try to bring out as much paperwork, evidence, things that you can go look at to verify. And I'll give you as many links as I possibly can to see that we need a sheriff who's going to represent the people. The law isn't complicated at all. The law is built on the premise of you do damage to someone's person or property. Once they have it so complicated that the people cannot even understand the law, it's hard for them to be obedient to the law. And so, I mean, the court system is broken down in basically to civil law and criminal law. Civil law is a long list. It's almost like a contractor building a house. You have roofers, drywall, tile people, and there's all kinds of contractors for that. When it comes to criminal law, that is where we're having a major problem in the county. When we have the people running the system, committing crimes against the people and violating their rights in order to get them into the system, especially our young people, using our young people, and it's just so out of control that the people in Pinellas County need to see and understand. As you listen to the testimonies that I put on my YouTube, Greg Pound for Sheriff 2012, that's only the beginning. I've been to jail 4 times now. I had Sheriff Coates going up to Tallahassee on the laws that he broke at the last election. A week before that, I'm arrested, put in jail for 36 days without a bond. 36 days, no visit from an attorney, and no right to bond out of jail. And you have to commit a capital crime, like first-degree murder, in order not to receive a bail. But see, I missed the hearing in Tallahassee, so they dropped the hearing. This is how corrupt this is the corruption. You look at the county commissioners are working with them, the sheriff's department, and basically the courthouse are the 3 kingpins in this county that's running the racketeering game on people and families in order to generate funding, money they get out from our federal government, grant money. And it's really interesting. My mother-in-law has been the comptroller for 30 years in this county, and she's personally told me of the corruption that's gone on in this county. When you have one judge in family court by the name of Thomas Gallen owning over 156 houses. 156 houses. Now what happens is this video, I only have 15 minutes per section in order to upload to my YouTube account. So I'm going to have to get up and I'm going to have to shut it off, start it up again.